Let's talk all things Chelsea. It was a 2-2 draw at Brentford on Saturday. 11th in the table, lost 10 games this season in the league. Of course, it was last weekend. They lost the Carabao Cup final. But it's what happened off the pitch or in the stands even that's made a lot of headlines in the papers and on social media over the past couple of days. A lot of chants from the following Chelsea fans against Todd Boehly, for Roman Abramovich, for Jose Mourinho, and also, perhaps most importantly, against the current manager, Mauricio Pochettino. I'm going to read this from The Sun. Jack Rosser says, few at Chelsea have been able to avoid the wrath of their supporters for another sorry season. At Brentford, where the Blues slipped from complete control to chaos either side at half-time, fans brutally chanted against Pochettino and Boehly. It's also individual players, especially Raheem Sterling, who have been booed as suffering diehards search for someone to blame for their decline in recent years. Gift of the Gob is another headline in the Mirror. Yes. And the big question that they ask in the Times, will Boehly take fan fury out on Pochettino? Let's hear from Pochettino, who was asked after the game about those chants.
Someone asked me, you feel the love from the fans? No. What we are going to expect? We need to build our relationship, but in between the coaching staff or the coach and the fans, you build your relationship through winning games. But at the moment, the expectation, we cannot match the expectation.
Ali, he's clearly got a tough job in his hands to try and turn this around. But how much harder does it become for a manager when you've got your own supporters 7 months into your job, turning against you and chanting some not particularly pleasant things about you?
Well, he's under P, massively under P. So it's a kind of similar situation with Ten Hag, in the respect that both clubs are underachieving, and the United fans will correctly point out that Chelsea, you know, are so far down the league, it's abysmal. It really is abysmal. What positives have Chelsea had recently? The Cole Palmer signing has been an excellent one. He's been a good player. Conor Gallagher, I like. You know, they lost a cup final against a Liverpool side where they could have won it. I thought, as I said earlier, I thought Liverpool was slightly the better team, but it could have gone either way. Chelsea are a renowned club that don't, generally speaking, hang about with managers. If they've got a decision to make, they'll get rid of him. I think he's under serious pressure.
7 months, they're chanting against the manager. Do you understand their frustration, or do you think, goodness me, 7 months in, come on, give them a little bit more time?
I understand their frustration. By the way, as soon as they start chanting against the owner, it means the manager's in big trouble.
Yes.
But the truth of the matter is that Todd Boehly's got to look at himself, because the recruitment has been hopeless, absolutely hopeless. He's trying to run Chelsea Football Club as he would run American sports teams. Now we're in the situation whereby people know that Chelsea need a rebuild, but they can't afford a rebuild. And the lunacy of it is that Conor Gallagher, their best player this season by a street, might have to be sacrificed so that they can, start some sort of rebuild, completely unacceptable from a Chelsea fan's perspective. And yet I understand them giving them everybody a bit of stick. After all, with all due respect, Brentford, they call themselves, the bus stop in Hounslow, don't they? Chelsea, once the elite, amongst the elite in Europe, are going there and struggling to come away with a draw. Manager and owner, they're going to get some flack.
I don't know what you boys think, but I look at, in particular, the job that Arteta did at Arsenal, and it took him a good sort of 18 months to 2 years to come in, implement his style of play, bring in the players that he wants. I know that Klopp came to Liverpool with a really big reputation, having won trophies, but also took time for Klopp to mould that squad. I just look at the job that I thought Poch did such an underrated job at Tottenham. And Jeff, on this breakfast show, I've had arguments with so many people about it. I think with the budget he had, the limit, the net spend virtually at zero, top 4 football every season, playing attractive football, improving players, taking them to a Champions League final. For me, that is a sign over a 6-year period there of a really good coach. And I really hope that they give him time, because I'm adamant that he's a good coach. And I think you're right, Jeff. There's bigger problems than Pochettino. It's the owner playing fantasy football with Chelsea.
Well, you talk, the one thing United and Chelsea have got in common, a lot of the fans aren't happy with the ownership within both clubs. Pochettino, I think, will get more time, right? Because I actually think I'm a little bit with Crookie we were on earlier there. Do you get rid of Ten Hag? Do you get rid of Pochettino? Yes, if you've got a plan and you feel that's the right decision to make, and there's somebody out there, a coach out there who you can get, you think will improve things. I'm not sure that's the case at this moment in time with either club. I think the play, you might slightly get a better tune out the players, right? As coaches do, you can get a better tune out of some players. But in terms of get the gulf back between the two clubs, and I'm not even talking about just Manchester City, I'm talking about Arsenal now, and obviously Liverpool, it looks as though it's going to be years.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.